Well, change of tact and health tech firm InteliCare signing a 5-year supply agreement with Optus, which it hopes will drive indirect sales through the telco's national business customer network. To tell us all about it, Jason Waller joins us now from Perth. He's InteliCare's Chief Executive. Hey, Jason, great to go and see you there. Welcome back to the program. It's been a while since we chatted. Look, to kick off with, I just want to go and get a refresh for our viewers out there. Just remind them what you do there at InteliCare. What is the main services that you provide?
So InteliCare is a technology that allows people to age independently in their own home. So we turn any home into a smart home and then use a range of passive sensors to collect data around movement in the home and domestic activity. We run it through an AI engine, and that AI learns what's normal behaviour in the home, and we send alerts out to family or caregivers when something's out of the ordinary. So by doing that, we allow people to live independently, safely for longer and overcome the crisis that's in aged care.
In terms of, I would have thought this would be a phenomenon well outside of COVID, as people do choose to live in their own homes. I don't think anybody likes long-term hospital care. So do you think as we all age that the outlook looks pretty bright in terms of what InteliCare can do in terms of keeping people in their homes?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. COVID has certainly accelerated the adoption of technology within the senior sector. But the macro forces that are driving the crisis in aged care are going to be with us for many decades to come. Simply put, the baby boomers are placing pressure on government funding for aged care, and therefore people are choosing to age in place in their own home. Not only is that their main desire, but the ability of government to fund residential aged care is rapidly diminishing. So I think the outlook for this kind of technology is very bright.
So Jason, let's go through this deal announced with Optus yesterday. What does it mean for the company, particularly the add-on contracts that could come from this initial contract?
It means a lot for us because clearly a partner the size and the quality of Optus is a great win for us. Optus's customers see Optus as more than just a phone provider. They're an ICT aggregator, and they have a number of customers in the aged care sector who have multiple information technology needs, and they would like to go to just one company to deal with that. Optus's Internet of Things business found us out, and they see our ability to integrate with the rest of the systems that might be, for example, in a residential aged care home or a retirement village as very complementary and synergistic.
You was mentioning the fact that aged care and retirement homes is certainly something that's fallen off the radar, and then of course COVID brought it straight back in. Could your systems be rolled out through that sector, just given that I think surveillance of people was something that was severely missing during the COVID period?
Well, we listed in May last year, and at that time our focus was primarily on the home care services market. But as our roadmaps matured and developed, we are focusing more and more on the residential aged care sector, and I think you'll see that growing. And it's not just about surveillance, it's actually about detection and prevention of trigger events that could cause someone to be hospitalised or worsen. So it's really about giving them a higher quality of life rather than just monitoring them for monitoring's sake.
Let's go and talk about growth strategies moving forward. Now, with Optus, obviously that's big scale. It's a big, well-known name as well. Is that going to be a sort of a catalyst to go and the benchmark to go and grow further on from here?
Absolutely. Our strategy at the start was to get things right in Western Australia before we expanded nationally and then internationally. And I think over the last 12 months, we've certainly achieved that mark. Our largest sales to date have been on the Eastern Seaboard. We're a Perth-based company. And the board and executive team are now turning our mind to international expansion. So by necessity, I think that drives us towards seeking high quality, large partners with an established quality customer base.
It sounds like that we could take maybe a big step forward and say, yes, you're WA at the moment, maybe roll out across Australia, but surely this is something that would have some sort of global attractiveness. Just given that the ageing population certainly isn't confined to Australia. So is that like a dream big scenario that you could possibly roll out more regionally?
Oh, absolutely. Every Western democracy is experiencing the same effect in aged care that I described earlier. Countries such as the UK have a national health system very similar to our model here. In the United States, it's more insurance-led, so they're very prospective in that market. But our balancing act here is to ensure that we go to those markets when we're ready to do so. It's very tempting for smaller startups to go straight to those markets and chase the large numbers, but you can burn through cash unnecessarily and find yourself engulfed at the same time. So we're being very cautious. We're taking steps to ensure we select the right partners in each of those markets before we go large.
Jason, just a really quick one to go and finish off with. Look, you work in cutting edge technology, but you can't sit still in these kind of marketplaces. What potentially have you got coming down the path when it comes to technology you could roll out?
I think in this quarter we'll see the integration of additional sensors, including vital sign sensors, both wearable and non-wearable. We recently rolled out our radar sensor. So we're not a sensor manufacturer. We look for the best and brightest in the market and we integrate them onto the platform. We're also doing a lot of work in particular with our AI to improve its machine learning capabilities. So we move from just detecting incidents to actually preventing incidents. And finally, I think you'll see us work towards being able to integrate our data with the client management systems of our customers. So there's a seamless workflow from incident detection through to response.
Well, you've had a good couple of days there on the market, so shareholders are pretty happy for the time being. So look forward to speaking to you again soon. Jason Waller from InteliCare, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks very much, guys.